recently had the opportunity to visit Spain for the very first time. I had no idea what to expect, so everything was exciting. This is actually part 2 of a 2-part series, and in this video, I am vlogging through San Sebastian. When I travel, I like to hit all the top attractions, and I think we nailed it with San Sebastian. So I invite you to follow along, enjoy our adventures, and let's go to San Sebastian. We just left our hotel in San Sebastian, and we're headed to, where are we going, Nick?
Where are we going?
Yeah. Okay, we're just wandering. I thought we were going somewhere.
We're gonna go find trouble.
I thought we were going to the beach.
Yeah, we're gonna go find the beach.
Okay.
And Old Town.
Old Town? In under 10 minutes, we were in view of the beach and a little mountain that Nick said we could hike up. This was Ondoreta Beach, one of 3 beaches in San Sebastian, or Donostia as the locals call it. I couldn't believe how many people were out and on the beach in the middle of the day on a Thursday. There's a walkway that lines the beach and takes you from Ondoreta, and you get to go through this beautiful tunnel, and every time we passed through the tunnel, somebody was playing live music. And then on the other side of the tunnel, you are at the next beach, which is La Concha Beach. I just couldn't get over how beautiful the scenery was, with the water being so blue and the mountains in the distance, and then the hotels lining the sand beaches. Now pay attention to the width of the beach here, because tomorrow morning we'll be right back here and the beach will be a lot wider. So the tide is amazing here and really creates huge variances in the width of the sand. In fact, that was probably the thing Nick and I talked about most on our trip here. I love this walkway we were on that connected the 2 beaches to each other. You could walk from one end, and here's the park at the end of La Concha Beach, to the other end where we started. It was about 1.5 miles. It took about 30 minutes to walk end to end. And just a block through the park, we were all of a sudden in Old Town. Here we are in the Old Town of San Sebastian. Old Town is filled with different churches and cathedrals and shops, and maybe most importantly, restaurants. And San Sebastian is world renowned for its pinchos and tapas. Oh, I got it. That was crazy. Well, it's not pincho time yet. It's still early, just like Logroño, where we were the day before. Things don't really pick up here until much later. And so we did go inside the beautiful church here. And what I loved about Old Town was you could be walking through these narrow streets, and then all of a sudden you're in a big piazza. And it's like, where did that come from? But okay, let's sit and have a drink. And then steps away, you're back in a narrow street where they're getting ready and setting up for pinchos for later tonight. After a brief tour of Old Town, we had to head back to our hotel to get ready for dinner. And look at the walkway. The beach is gone. There's no more sand. The water is coming right up to the walkway. We couldn't believe it. That's how high the tide had gotten. You can see a little narrow strip of beach area here, especially when we went in the under walkway area. But for the most part, that long and really deep beach has all been absorbed by the high tide. Oh wait, first, before we went back to the hotel, we had to stop for Aperol spritzes on the water. We had to watch the sunset over beautiful San Sebastian. I mean, check out this view. What you drinking?
Sangria.
Salud. Okay, we are ready to hit Old Town for pinchos, and look at how beautiful it looks at night. Here we are on that walkway with our group. I love all the live music, and you can see the statue of Jesus lit up on Monte Urgol in the backdrop there. And here we are down in Old Town with that cathedral in the background, and it is time for pinchos. Oscar is leading the way and helping us find the best places to go. Everything comes with bread. You can't eat all the bread or you'll be so stuffed. You just kind of eat the thing off the bread. Okay, well, Nick's eating the bread, but I'm not eating the bread. Just kind of like use the bread like as a plate.
No.
Anchovy?
No. This is very typical here. We call sword.
Swordfish?
It's like a fish. It's like a seafood.
Okay.
It's really good. This should be like eaten like
Like that, okay.
It's in a shell.
Yeah, no de sopa yet.
Do you eat the shell?
No, mira.
How do you eat it?
La línea.
Go. Suck it up. Suck it up.
How do you eat these?
What do you think?
I just swallowed it.
In addition to seafood, cider is another tradition here. They give you a special cider aerator for your bottle, and then you pour it from a height, as Oscar demonstrates.
Go ahead. Whoa!
You see,
That's the end of the bottle.
Oh! Is this traditional?
This is more Asturias, but it's okay.
And then, of course, we all had to try our hand at pouring using the aerator. Nick had to try, and of course, I had to try.
Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? Why is this so hard?
Not as easy as Oscar made it look. And then we went to La Viña for cheesecake. Okay, this needs a moment. Apparently, San Sebastian is in the Basque area, which is the region between Spain and France. And Basque cheesecake is supposedly world renowned. I didn't believe it until, yeah, it's gone. We inhaled that cheesecake. Probably the best cheesecake I've had in my life, and everybody in town seemed to know it too. Remember that piazza that we walked through earlier? Well, now we are outside having some drinks to end the night, and I so admire how the bar service is actually poured at the table. So they bring your drinks on a tray and they actually pour and mix them right in front of you. I love that about Spain. And let's have a couple more drinks. Okay, did I say we were gonna end the night at the piazza? Well, no, we went to Garagar, and if you ever want to ask Nick about how he got a shirt from this place, he would love to tell you that story. We got to make a whole bunch of new friends, and then we got to walk back to our hotel, and guess what we saw on the beach?
Okay, this is Zamboni for sand. It's a Zamboni. It's a Zamboni.
If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. I'm turning 50 this month, and I'm just embracing life and challenging myself to travel, try things, do try-ons, and share it all with you. And if that sounds interesting, you'd be helping me reach my goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and it would mean the world to me. Okay, we're walking down to the beach. Nick scored this shirt. It says Garagar, which we're not sure what that means. We think it might be beer in Basque or maybe Guinness.
Yep.
Tell the story.
Oh, you. Stop.
Nick bought a shirt for
No,
$15.
that's not the story.
So the story Nick wants me to tell is how
No,
he
stop.
accosted the bartender.
No, I did not accost the bartender.
Told
I
him.
very nicely spoke to the
Threatened
bartender.
him.
To sell me a shirt, even though they're the staff shirts, only for staff. But I thought it was a cool shirt.
I'm gonna threaten you every night.
I merely said I would come in every night and ask him for a shirt. That's much different than threatening him.
Nick wanted me to film this. Okay, remember that narrow strip of beach at high tide yesterday? Check out the distance from the walkway all the way to the water. I mean, this has got to be 80 feet, and yesterday it was maybe 10.
So last night, a sand bony came through and made the dirt clean as you see it now, allowing artists such as this young man to come and do their fine art on the beach.
Wow, Nick is really getting into this YouTube thing, coming out of his shell. Anyway, we loved watching the sand artists create their temporary pieces that were going to be washed away later when high tide came. They had set up a place for you to drop coins onto a little mat, and of course we contributed, really appreciating their artwork here.
You missed.
But again, look at the expansiveness of the sand at this point. You can actually see it really well here. The wet sand where the high tide had come up to, and then the exposed, now low tide sand. Quite a big difference. Okay, so we're going up there. It's not a Jesus, it's a saint, I think. We'll find out when we get up there. Maybe it's San Sebastian. Okay, fact check. We were misinformed. This is actually a statue of Jesus. It's the Sagrado Corazón, or Sacred Heart of Jesus. And so there are many pathways to reach it, and you can choose the straight up ones or the meandering ones, all with beautiful views. There's a nice flowing
little rampway, meandering path. Nick wanted to do the stairs. We're on the stair route.
Because of the multi-directional access and the variety of stairs versus pathways, I've heard people say they've been up here dozens of times and never taken the same route twice. However, we did all the stairs, and so we got there pretty quickly, actually. Not only could we get an up-close and personal view of the statue, but sweeping, gorgeous, amazing views of San Sebastian.
Nick, are you happy we made it to the top?
The views were definitely worth the hike up there, no matter how you choose to get there. Stairs or ramps, or maybe a combination of both.
Nick, you were asking what the water is right here?
Yes.
And I looked it up, and it's like the balsamic sea, but it's not that. It's something like that.
It's the vinegar sea.
No, it's like with a B. Not Baltic. Baltriatic. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I was close. It's like Cantabrian.
Not even close. It's Canterbury. Canterbury's Tales.
Cantabrian?
Canterbury chocolate. It's almost
No,
Easter time.
that's the C. The Canterburyan.
Canterbury.
Canterburyan.
Pronunciation aside, it was lovely at the top and seeing the remnants of the Castillo de Mota, the old bastion from the 12th century, and taking in the views. We walked down this narrow pathway and found ourselves at a hilltop bar and restaurant with sweeping views of the Concha Beach and a menu written in 4 languages. There was Basque, Castilian, English, and French. And then we headed down the stairs. I mean, just look at this view. It doesn't look real. And then we were back in Old Town. I just love the energy and the sounds here. People on tours, shopping, taking photos. We saw a spire in the distance and had some time, so we decided to walk there.
We had to put our feet in the water. 68, what did they say the water was? 68 degrees?
Approximately.
It was fun to see the hill that we had just hiked up in the distance.
So we've been walking on the beach, and we are now on seagull, Ondareta Beach.
This sculpture was one of the things I had most been looking forward to about our trip.
There's a sculpture in San Sebastian that they say when the wind whistles through it, it makes a song, and I cannot wait.
The Comb of the Wind is a collection of 3 sculptures by Eduardo Chillida, arranged by a Basque architect, Luis Peña Ganchegui, excuse my pronunciation. But these are, for both of them, some of their most famous works. They were located at the edge of Ondarreta Beach, and it was beautiful to see. I kept trying to understand how the whistling would occur. I had read about that online, and I couldn't quite figure it out.
I'm supposed to sing, but I don't hear any singing. Maybe it's not windy enough?
It was a pretty place to just sit and look out at the water and reflect. And then a few feet away, we noticed these blowholes, and kids were playing. And every once in a while, a wave would hit underneath, and it would shoot air and a forceful gush up. I waited for a really long time to try and get some footage, and this was the best I could get.
You can't feel wind coming up through them.
So yeah, I got a little air up my skirt, but I don't know if this was supposed to be the whistling. I was a little disappointed and underwhelmed by this whole singing sculpture. What was not underwhelming was learning this new drink. This is called the Tinto de Verano, and someone at our table ordered it, and then everybody ordered it. It's basically Fanta soda topped with red wine, and it sounds really weird, but it was so refreshing and so delicious. I know I'm going to be making this at home. Just look at how pretty it looks in the glass. It's a beautiful drink. After drinks with our group, we were off and walking back down to the Old Town to have dinner at Antonio. Nick, as always, had something to say.
No, I can't say it on that.
Tell me.
No.
We're having dinner.
We're having dinner. We're sitting down instead of standing up having dinner.
We're tired.
At the edge of Old Town, Antonio was great for people watching in the park. But even though we ate a nice dinner there, we couldn't help ourselves and ended up at Bartolo for tapas. after our dinner. Not only was the food amazing there, but check out this cider pourer. This was so fun to watch. Nothing says date night and romance more than sitting under an awning of pig legs. Hey, when in San Sebastian. And then we couldn't help ourselves. We had to go back. Day 2 in San Sebastian and day 2 getting cheesecake from this place. I mean, they're closing the entrance and people are still trying to get in. Cheesecake on a stoop. Plug for our hotel, the Barcelo Costa Vasca. They had a tremendous gym that we got to take advantage of. And then their breakfast buffet was amazing. We had so many options from cheeses and salads and breads and pastries. I loved it. First of all, I got dressed first.
No, I had established I was going to wear this first, but okay.
You did not tell anybody.
In my mind, I do. This morning.
Secondly, where are we going?
Either the Funestra, the Funestia, the Funkilo, something that starts with an F.
Okay, the last one was the closest. Funicular.
Funicular. See, I knew it.
There you go. We followed the signs next to Ondarrata Beach to the funicular, which had a queue to go up to the top of Monte Igueldo, where they had an attraction park for kids, actually for anybody. And so after about a half an hour, we boarded the funicular and went up to the top of Monte Igueldo. It took maybe 7 or 8 minutes to go, and we saw another funicular coming down as we were going up. And then we exited and were met with the most amazing views of Monte Urgel, where we were yesterday, Ondarrata Beach, La Concha Beach. I mean, if we thought the views yesterday were amazing, these were even higher and even more breathtaking. They had some kids attractions like little bumper cars, baby roller coasters, a little haunted house, and then this tower. We had seen it from the beach and had been curious about it, so we decided we would pay to go into it. The view from below the tower was even higher. It was fun to see the historical photos that decorated the tower, and then the view from the top was the highest view that we got to see in San Sebastian, and it was just amazing, as you can see here. From this view, you can actually see the other part of Monte Igueldo and more of the Cantabrian Sea. I will learn how to pronounce that. And again, just gorgeous views of La Concha and Ondarrata Beach. And then we took the funicular down and were dropped directly into Ondarrata Beach. And looking back, it was fun to see where we had just been in that tower on the hill that we had been looking at for the past few days. So then we walked the, again, 1.5 miles past Ondarrata Beach and La Concha Beach, and again, it was low tide, and so the artists were out decorating the sand. Some of them took the occasion to make political statements. We didn't quite understand everything that was written here, but we understood it was very passionate. We really loved this circular one for the symmetry and beauty of it. I don't know how they made such a big design from such a low vantage point. Back at Bartolo for lunch in Old Town, the menu is in 6 languages, maybe even 7. Do you know what they all are? We couldn't figure it out. You gonna eat all those, Nick?
You go through Old Town, and then you follow Nick. You're pointing at people. Which way to the beach?
Okay, well, Nick keeps pointing. We're trying to find our way to Zuriola Beach. I'm not actually sure this is the way to the beach. I feel like it's that way.
Nick, is the beach right ahead? Exactly as I thought. The beach is not here.
Exactly as I thought. Right there.
No, I wanted to go that way, and you wanted to come to this walkway and walk more 10,000 miles.
I would walk 10,000 miles.
Look at these.
See? Now, would we have seen that if we had gone your way?
For the record, I was right.
So after we passed Nick's beautiful rocks and crossed this bridge, we actually found ourselves at the home of the San Sebastian International Film Festival, which was happening that weekend.
What are you wearing, Sierra?
I'm wearing a shirt by Target, belt by Amazon, socks by Costco, shoes by Adidas, skirt by Shein.
I love the way the hills and mountains framed and punctuated the city. So even on this side at Zuriola Beach, we could see Monte Urgel, topped by the statue of the Sagrado Corazon that we had been at yesterday. Zuriola, this beach. It's the surfing beach. It's a lot less crowded over here. Also, looks like it could rain, so maybe people are just going home. Zuriola Beach is really known for its calm waves and is supposed to be one of the best places in the world to learn to surf if you are a new surfer. This beach was definitely more sporty between the surfers and volleyball players, and we sat down at the end and watched for a while. We walked to another sculpture at the end of the beach. Here it is. We don't know what it is, but it's here. It's fun. It's pretty. San Sebastian is known for its bakeries, and the loaf had attracted quite a crowd.
Brownie with matcha, and this one is brownie blonde.
Back where the screenings were occurring, people were lining up in hopes of getting a glimpse of their favorite movie star. We didn't really know who anyone was who was attending, so we just decided to walk the red carpet on our own. I kept waiting for a break in the foot traffic, but it never really happened, and I could probably use some work with my red carpet walk. We crossed over into Old Town and were treated to this beautiful last sunset here in San Sebastian, and we're trying to figure out where should we go for dinner tonight because it had been about 2 hours since we had food. We ended up at Donostiara for tapas, and they were some of the best tapas we had the whole time we were there. One last chance for the tortilla de patata, and it does seem like every place has their own unique pourer for the cider, so it was fun to see how every place addressed the cider. It was also fun to see some of the wine bottles that we had literally tasted a couple of days before converted into beautiful lamps above the display cases. One last view of Old Town and then a walk back along the beach, exactly where those sand drawings had been just a couple hours previous.
Definitely point that out in your video.
The shortcut through the park back to our hotel closes at an undefined time. So the hike that we just did of 2 miles, we have
like
to go
a quarter mile.
It's not a quarter mile.
A quarter mile on a flat road that's slightly upgraded.
The hike we did up probably at 200 feet incline.
No.
Yes. We have to backtrack 100%.
Don't do it.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our vlog of our stay in San Sebastian. And if you missed part 1 of this video, which was Logroño and the Rioja area, I will link it right here, and I'll see you in the next one.